Hello everyone. In this video, you will learn how to investigate document containers for NSFW media using the Cloudmersive Image API's NSFW detection capabilities in Python. Like all our video walkthroughs, we'll begin by locating the code examples we need to install the API client and structure our example API request. We'll find these by first navigating to the API console page in our Cloudmersive management portal, and then selecting the Image Recognition and Processing API link from the API console table. We'll find Image API NSFW detection services by scrolling down this page just a bit. The specific action we're looking for is called NSFW Content Classification for Documents, and we'll open this tab once we find it. As we can see here in the description, this specific API action digs into complex document containers and identifies NSFW content within them. This checks the entire object directory of each document, so it's both powerful and resource intensive, but it's worth it to avoid letting hidden NSFW content slip through the cracks. If we look down at the response model, we'll note that documents are classified with a score float and a classification outcome string. Scores can range between 0 and 1, with higher numbers indicating a higher likelihood of NSFW content, and classification outcomes simply offer a natural language phrase to describe that score. We'll find the Python code examples we need by clicking on the Python tab at the bottom of this window. We'll click on the Install Python SDK dropdown to reveal the command we need to install the library, and from there, we'll just copy all the code from top to bottom and paste it in our environment. As usual, I'm running my demo in Google Colab. So after I paste my code, I'm going to separate the installation command into its own code cell and run it to install the Image API client. Now we'll make a few changes to our code and run tests on two different documents. First, we'll configure our API key by replacing the placeholder text with our own API key string. My API key is already stored in the Secrets tab in Colab, but you can find yours on the API keys page in your Cloudmersive management portal. I'm going to set my API key at runtime using the code examples that Google Colab provides, just to avoid exposing that string. After that, we'll upload a few test files and review our results. First, however, I'll quickly address that this variable is mistakenly named image file instead of input file in the example code, so we may want to change that to avoid confusion in our code later on. To upload my files, I'm going to take advantage of example code that Colab provides to open files from my local file system. I'm going to use this code to upload two files from OneDrive on my local machine at runtime, one of which is a control file and the other of which contains racy image content. This code conveniently stores each file upload in a dictionary where the key is the file name and the value is the file content, so all I need to do is set the file input variable to the current file key at the beginning of each loop, and then cut and paste the try except block to call the API within this loop. Once that's all done, I'll run my code and upload my files at runtime. I won't be showing the contents of these files to avoid violating YouTube policies, but I've named each file according to their contents. This will take a bit of time to process, so I'm going to skip ahead to when our responses are returned for each file. As we can see, my control image received a very low score. This score indicates the file contained an image, but that image was only around 2% likely to be unsafe for work. That means it received a safe content high probability outcome. The second file, on the other hand, received close to the highest possible score, around 99%, which indicates that the embedded image is not only racy, but very likely to be intentionally lewd or pornographic in nature. That means it received an unsafe content high probability outcome, which is warning us not to allow users to view this content. This is a great tool to use in enterprise file processing workflows to boost security against NSFW uploads. It's unlikely we'll get a ton of NSFW content hidden within documents, but it's important to remember that we're just as responsible for protecting our users from hidden content as we are for protecting them against direct image and video uploads. We can take advantage of Cloudmersive's vast deployment and scale options to implement this solution in a way that meets the needs of our business. And that's all there is to it. If you have any questions for our team after following along with this video, please do not hesitate to reach out.